Hello everyone. I am finally getting around to making these videos. I posted on my Instagram doing an Ask Me Anything about powerlifting and pregnancy, or really any pregnancy questions, breastfeeding, all that kind of stuff. As anybody who follows me knows, I'm pretty much an open book, and I've made it a point to really share my story because there's not a lot of information out there when it comes to stuff like this. So I actually ended up making a video answering all the questions and kind of going off on some tangents on different things, and the video was almost an hour long, so I decided that I'm going to break this up into 3 parts, and I'm going to do nutrition, programming, and then postpartum. So those will be my 3 videos. So this is going to be the first one, and we're going to start with nutrition and supplementation, because that's what probably like supplements during pregnancy and or breastfeeding is something I get asked almost daily. So just to kind of give you guys, anybody who maybe was sent to these videos from somebody else that you don't follow me or don't have any idea who I am. My name is Kelsea Koenreich, and I live in Florida, and I have as of today, a 9-month-old baby boy. I started lifting in 2011. I've competed in, I believe, 8 meets, and I've done 2 figure seasons as well. I won my natural pro card in my first season in 2013. So I competed physique sports and strength sports, and obviously now my main priority is just being a mom, but I did practice the powerlifting movements throughout my whole pregnancy, and shared that on Instagram and started hashtag powerlifting pregnancy. So it was kind of a way for me to document everything from beginning to end, and just to be real with people about what goes on. And for me, working in the fitness industry, and the weight gain, and not being able to train to get stronger, there was a lot of struggles along the way, so I really wanted to share that with everybody. And so yeah, that's kind of what sparked this, is me sharing that journey and me getting so many questions from so many different people, because there's not a lot of information out there. So I am going to answer all the questions that I got on that post. Like I said, this will be 3 parts. So this first one is just going to be nutrition, and I'll try to get the other 2 filmed in the next few days. So what I'm going to start with, one of the questions that I get a lot is, how much weight did I gain? When it comes to weight gain, and really, I probably should have started with this, but anything that I am putting in these videos, I am sharing my personal journey. I'm not telling anybody how to do things. I'm not a doctor. I'm not giving medical advice. I'm telling you simply what I did. You can take it, you can leave it. But like I said, I'm not a medical professional, so this is not me telling anybody what to do or what's best. I'm just sharing what I did. So weight gain. For me, this is my first pregnancy. I gained 35 pounds. My doctor told me in the beginning, you'll gain about 30 pounds. So I was pretty much right on there. Being a physique athlete and being somebody who, I really identify myself more as a power lifter, or I did, more than the physique side of things. But as a woman, I think it's hard for us to gain weight no matter the circumstance. So it was definitely a struggle for me, and I would have days, where I definitely overate, like was not listening to my body. I was just eating because I was like, oh, I'm pregnant, I can eat whatever I want. And then there were other days where I was like just not hungry. So my first trimester, I gained like a little bit more probably than I should have, but then my second trimester things kind of evened off, and then of course the third trimester was where the majority of the weight gain came, because as Cameron was getting bigger, uh, he actually weighed something. So yeah, I ended up gaining 35 pounds, and I think it was the day before or the day of, right around when Cameron turned 7 months, is when I was back to pre-pregnancy weight. My body composition is definitely different. 9 months now, this is probably like I'm getting to a point, I'm a couple pounds under where I was when I got pregnant now. So I'm getting to a point where I'm more comfortable in my body, but definitely things are different. So, and weight gain is so different from person to person, and it really depends on where you started. So, you know, if you're somebody who's very overweight, you don't need to gain a lot of weight. And if you are somebody who is very underweight, you're probably going to have to gain more weight. So obviously doctors have their recommendations there. But yes, for me personally, it was 35 pounds. And as far as I got a question about like what kind of nutrition plan I followed. I didn't follow a nutrition plan. I tracked macros for about 4 years prior to getting pregnant. I actually finished up my first pro season doing figure, and my last show was July of 2015. And my coach, Alberto Nunez from 3DMJ, was like, it's time for you to stop tracking. So I did, and it was pretty scary, but basically I've just moved on to intuitive eating, and I got pregnant in September. So my main focus was just getting enough protein. So I kind of kept like a running total of my protein. Obviously this is going to be different from person to person too. Some people, am somebody who can eat grilled chicken every day, and when I was pregnant my first trimester, I could not eat grilled chicken, so I ate a lot of fried chicken. Yeah, I just made sure that protein was a priority, and I did my best to stay balanced. I didn't, just because I wasn't tracking macros doesn't mean that I was just eating off the wall everything. I actually ate a lot of salads while I was pregnant. I don't know, I'm weird like that, I guess, but I ate a lot of donuts and fried chicken too, so things were balanced. So I didn't follow any specific nutrition plan. I did not track macros, and as far as like added calories, that obviously kind of along with the weight gain, that's going to be different from person to person. So the problem is a lot of the information out there is so outdated and general. It's not person to person. It's not personalized for how much body fat you have. It's not personalized for your activity level, things like that. So motherly intuition is a real thing, and when you need to eat more, and when you're just eating more because you're saying I'm pregnant and I can eat more. So yeah, the first trimester they say that you don't really need any extra calories. The second trimester I think it's something like 200, and then the third trimester I think they bump it up to like 500. So I have no idea if I was within those ranges. I did not track whatsoever. I do know that in the third trimester, the bigger that I got, the less I could eat volume-wise, because there was just not a lot of room just because my belly was so big. So I definitely noticed that I had to eat more often, and if I didn't eat, that I didn't feel well. So I think that you need to, trust yourself, make good choices. People really use pregnancy as an excuse to gain obsessive amounts of weight, because they're like, oh, I'm pregnant, I'll lose it later, it'll be fine. You're still putting on excess body fat. You obviously have to put on some weight when you're pregnant. I don't think that anybody should try to diet through their pregnancy or not gain weight, things like that. But there's no need for you to just throw everything out the window, and you won't feel very good either. So Just stay balanced. Focus on your protein intake. Some days you might want to eat more, eat more. Some days you might want to eat less, eat less. The next question that I get so often is about supplements during pregnancy. So I always tell people, again, this is what I did. So ask your doctor. My doctor approved everything that I took, and actually everything that I took during my pregnancy I still take, and I'm still breastfeeding. So I'm going to show you guys this stuff. So this is my prenatal. So I started taking this actually when we were trying to get pregnant. So I've taken this, I think we started trying in June or July. So, and I was pregnant in September. So I took it for a few months before I got pregnant, and I am still taking this. The next thing is just fish oil. And the two next products are probably what I get the most questions about: BCAAs and protein powder. I took both throughout my entire pregnancy, and I still drink them. On the actual, I think it tells you to consult a doctor. Do not use if pregnant or nursing. This says on here. So the reason why it says that on here is because they're not going to do research on pregnant women, but I took it. That's all I'm going to say. So extend BCAAs as well as Salvation Whey. So I took both of these things. I took all of these things every day before I was pregnant, during my pregnancy, and still to this day, and I'm still breastfeeding. So teach their own, do what you feel is right, ask your doctor. Let's see, let me make sure I have a post-it note here, because my mom brain would definitely not allow me to remember all the questions that I got. Pregnancy, somebody asked me about pregnancy coaching. I do coach pregnant people. The only reason I do is because I went through it myself, so I feel it's not something that I would do if I hadn't done it myself, obviously. But I am pretty conservative with it. I have coached 2 pregnant women so far, and I'm sure that it's something that will continue to happen, because powerlifting and lifting in general is huge with women now, and women get pregnant, we have babies, that's what we do. So yes, I do offer coaching for pregnant women, and you know, when it comes to nutrition and programming there, it's obviously a little bit different, but not much, and it's really, you know, based on the person and what they were doing before and things like that. So it is something that I offer. So yeah, I think I went over most of the questions that I get nutrition wise. If there is anything that I didn't cover that you guys want to ask me, feel free to leave it in the comments below the video. That way, if somebody comes to this video and they're like, oh, she didn't answer this, it can be, you know, I'll answer it below. But I think that's it. And I appreciate anybody that, you know, watches this or shares any of this. It's really, really important for me to try to spread the good word of this, because I know that all these women are getting involved in strength sports, and it's really sad that, you know, some women are still being told by their doctors that they can't do this and stuff like that. So things are different, and women are stronger, and it's awesome, and we need to be able to still take care of ourselves, and taking care of ourselves during pregnancy will help us postpartum, and it really helps you, I believe, be a better mom too when you take good care of yourself. So that is that. Any questions, please leave them below. Thank you for watching. I tried to not make this too long. I'm sure that I was blabbing a little bit too much. Eric is definitely the one that is better on the camera than me, but it is what it is. We all have our places, right? Thank you again for watching, and I'll try to get the other 2 parts of this series on my YouTube this week. Thanks, guys.